Ethan had never imagined life would feel this heavy at 28. He used to be the guy who believed everything would eventually work itself out. But somewhere between overdue bills, endless work pressure, failed relationships, and the quiet loneliness of coming home to an empty apartment in Denver, he started waking up tired even after 8 hours of sleep. Tired in a way rest couldn't fix, tired in a way that felt like a slow collapse from the inside. Every day felt the same. Wake up, drag himself through a job that drained him, scroll through social media watching people his age travel, marry, buy homes, celebrate promotions, and pretend he wasn't silently breaking while everyone else looked like they were living the life he once imagined for himself. He wasn't depressed, not in the dramatic sense, but he felt lost, directionless, stuck in a fog he couldn't get out of, and the worst part was that he didn't tell anyone, not even his closest friend. Because how do you explain a kind of exhaustion that has nothing to do with sleep? One night, after messing up a project at work, he sat on the floor of his kitchen, staring at the dim refrigerator light, feeling like he had nothing left. Not motivation, not confidence, not a sense of purpose. He whispered to himself, "I don't know how to keep going like this." And the silence that followed scared him more than the exhaustion itself. Out of reflex, he opened YouTube and stumbled into a clip of James Clear talking about atomic habits, explaining how people wait for big motivation when, in reality, small, tiny habits, too small to fail, are what rebuild a broken life. He listened as James said, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." And something inside Ethan flinched, not in pain but in recognition. His life didn't need a miracle, it needed one small win. The next morning, still exhausted, still empty, he made one decision. He would do just one small thing differently. No big goals, no big plans, no pressure. Just a 10-minute walk outside before work. The first walk felt pointless. His mind still raced, his chest still felt heavy, and halfway through he wanted to turn back, but he finished it anyway. The second day was the same. The third day felt slightly different. He noticed the morning air felt good on his skin. On the fifth day, he found himself looking forward to leaving the house early, even if everything else in life still felt messy. That tiny habit didn't change his life, but it changed his mornings. And slowly, mornings changed his mindset. After 2 weeks, he added one more small habit, writing one sentence in a notebook about how he felt. Not journaling, not planning, just one sentence. Some days the sentence was, "I feel lost." Some days it was, "I don't want to work today." But slowly, a pattern formed. He wasn't as helpless as he thought. He was just overwhelmed. The next month, he added another micro habit, reading 2 pages of a book before bed. And he chose a book about resilience, where he read about athletes rebuilding their careers through tiny, consistent steps, and about a Japanese man who survived bankruptcy and depression by creating a 5-minute daily morning ritual that slowly brought purpose back into his life. With every small habit, Ethan didn't become a new person. He simply became a person who didn't give up on himself. And that was enough. 3 months in, things started to shift. He wasn't energetic or fired up, but he wasn't drowning anymore. His job didn't magically become perfect, but he was handling things better, clearer, calmer. He started cooking again. He cleaned his apartment. He reconnected with an old friend. He even began considering a career switch, something that once felt impossible when he was in survival mode. One night, while on his usual walk, he realized something that almost stopped him in his tracks. He had spent years waiting for motivation to rescue him, waiting for his life to change dramatically, waiting for energy and clarity to magically appear. But life didn't change through waiting. It changed through tiny, almost invisible steps. He remembered reading about a man in India who lost everything and rebuilt his entire life through a daily habit of waking up before sunrise just to breathe slowly and reset his mind. He thought about Olympic athletes who return from injury not with giant leaps but with inch-by-inch training that no one sees. He thought about people all over the world who got out of dark seasons, not through dramatic transformations, but through consistency so small nobody clapped for it. And for the first time in months, Ethan felt a gentle warmth in his chest. Not excitement, not joy, but possibility. The kind of possibility that whispers, "You're not done yet." One morning, his supervisor called him in, not to scold him, but to praise him for his improved performance and offer him a chance to work on a new project. As he walked out of the office, he didn't feel proud because of the opportunity. He felt proud because months earlier he almost gave up, and now he was here, standing taller than he had in years. Later that night, he sat on his balcony, watching the city lights flicker across the Denver skyline, and he smiled at the realization that tiny habits had done what motivation couldn't. They had quietly rebuilt the foundation of his life. He whispered to himself, not as a promise, but as a truth he had earned. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep moving. And for the first time in a long time, he knew he would.